Good morning, ma'am. I am Lavanya Lal of BCom and I am here to do my presentation. So, let me share my presentation with PPT. So, the topic assigned to me is eligibility for bonus and payment of bonus under Payment of Bonus Act 1965. So, let's move on to the topic. It includes introduction, history, important sections covered under Payment of Bonus Act, eligibility for bonus and its cases, payment of bonus, conclusion and bibliography. So let's move on to the introduction. The Payment of Bonus Act 1965 is the principal act for payment of bonus to the employees, which was formed with an objective for rewarding employees for their good work for the organization. It is a step forward to share the prosperity of the establishment reflected by the profit earned by the contribution which is made by capital management and labor with the employees. Now let's move on to some objectives of payment of bonus. That is, first one is to improve the statutory liability to pay bonus in case of profit and losses, and to prescribe formula for calculating bonus, and to prescribe minimum and maximum percentage bonus. And fourth one is to provide set off and set down mechanism, and the last is to provide redressal mechanism. The Payment of Bonus Act 1965 provides for the payment of bonus to the persons employed in certain establishments employing 20 or more persons on the basis of the profit or on the basis of production or productivity and the matters connected therewith. Now let's move on to the history of payment of bonus. That is, during the First World War, the practice of paying bonus in India appears to have originated when certain textiles mills granted 10% of wages as war bonus to the workers in 1917. And in certain cases of industrial dispute, demand for payment of bonus was also included. And in 1950, a full bench of labor appellate evolved a formula for determination of bonus. A plea was made to raise that formula in 1959 at the second and third meeting of the 18th session of Standing Labour Committee held that it was agreed that the commission be appointed to go into the question of bonus and evolve suitable norms. A tripartite commission was set up by the Government of India to consider in a comprehensive manner the question of payment of bonus based on profit to the employees employed in establishment and to make recommendations to the government. The Government of India accepted the recommendation of the commission subject to certain modification. To implement these recommendations, the Payment of Bonus Ordinances 1965 was promulgated in 29th May 1965. To replace these said ordinances, the Payment of Bonus Bill was introduced in the Parliament. Now, let's move on to some of the important sections covered under the Payment of Bonus Act. So, I have put some brief introduction about the section which is covered under the Payment of Bonus Act, which includes section 1, that is, when is Bonus Act applicability. The Act applies to every factory and every establishment in which 20 or more persons are employed on any day during an accounting year. If less than 20, then this Act can be applied by appropriate government by way of notification in official gazette once the Payment of Bonus Act is applicable. Then it's forever applicable even the number of persons fall below 20. Now section 2, definition of the Act. The accounting years means that according to the corporation, the year ending day on which the book of account are closed and balanced, and according to the company, the period in respect of which the profit and losses account are prepared, and others the financial year, that is 1st April to 31st March. Now section 2 clause 2 deals with employee, which means that any person, a person who receives salary or wages or any remuneration and not exceeding bonus wage of rupees 21,000 per month and any industry and to do any work and for hired on reward, and whether the terms of employment are expressed or implied. Section 2 clause 14 deals with employer, which means that salary includes basic and dearness allowances. Salary excludes all other allowances, variable allowances, commission, bonus, traveling concession, ex gratia payments, etc. Now let's move on to the main topic, that is eligibility for bonus, which has been described in the section 8. Section 8 deals with eligibility for bonus, which means that every employee shall be entitled to be paid by the employer in an accounting year the bonus in accordance with the provision of this act, provided he has worked in the establishment for not less than 30 working days in that year. So it means that every employee receiving salary or wages up to rupees 3,500 per month and engaged in any kind of work, whether it is skilled, unskilled, manual, managerial, or supervisory, technical, etc., in any kind of work, etc. So he is entitled to the bonus for payment for every accounting year if he has worked for at least 30 working days in that year. Now let's move on to some cases in accordance with the eligibility for bonus. That is Khalid Khan Mohammad Kanif versus Jhansi Bidi Mazdoor Union, which was in the year 1980. The tribunal found that the bonus had not been paid to the workmen in accordance with the provision of the Bonus Act, and the action of the employer in paying the bonus to the workmen named in CA at varying rates, therefore improper and was also illegal. And it was held that all the persons named in CA were the employees of the concern at two branches at Jhansi and Garish Pathak and were entitled to get bonus for the accounting year. In the award, it was observed that the employer had not been disclosed his profit for the year in question, although he was called upon to file the profit and loss account, the computation chart. This, according to the tribunal, it was deliberate on the part of the employer. It was observed in the award that the preceding officer had consequently earned material before him, on the basis of which available surplus of concerns could be worked out. Now the next case is Ginning and Pressing Factory versus Second Labour Court, which was held in the year 1991. The petitioner is a ginning and pressing factory and had employed respondents 2 to 10 as seasonal workers, and they preferred an application under section 33C clause 2 of the Industrial Dispute Act for the minimum bonus at the rate of rupees 100 per annum. Basing their claim on the provision of the Payment of Bonus Act 1965, the total number of working days which was mentioned in the chart to the petition are not in dispute. The petitioner resisted in the claim on the grounds that the application was not maintainable under section 33C clause 2 of the Industrial Dispute Act, urging that the claim was barred by time. And it is also contended that the respondents were seasonal employees. They would not be entitled to claim the bonus under the provision of the Payment of Bonus Act. The Labour Court held that the application before it could be maintained under section 33C clause 2 of the Industrial Dispute Act, that it was not barred limitation because the provision of the Indian Limitation Act would not apply to claim under section 33C clause 2 of Industrial Dispute Act, and the respondent 2 to 10, even though they are seasonal workers, would be entitled to claim the benefit for the provision of Payment of Bonus Act. The Labour Court, however, restricted the claim for the period from 1974 onwards only, and awarded rupees 100 per annum and bonus to each of the claimants. Now the next case is Devon's Modern Breweries Limited versus Industrial Tribunal, which was in the year 1973. It was held that the Bonus Act does not apply in the state, and the question of bonus are to be determined according to the condition of services of the workmen in certain industry. In the present case, the management had itself decided to pay bonus to the workmen, and in the face of the own decision, it does not lie on the mouth to say that they are entitled to refuse the payment of bonus to any of the workmen who is serving during the period for which the bonus was paid to others. The company has put a condition in resolution to the effect that only the workmen who were working 31st March 1966 would be entitled. When some of the workers who had worked for a period only for which the bonus was paid have been paid the bonus, the company cannot be allowed to deprive the affected workmen of the bonus because they were not employee of the management on 31st March 1966. Now, Section 9 deals with when will employees disqualification under this act. It means that an employee will be disqualified for bonus if he has not been dismissed from services, if the reason for dismiss are fraud, riotous and violent behavior while on the premises of the establishment, theft, misappropriation and sabotage on any of the property of establishment. Now, this diagram shows us the brief introduction about the sections covered under Payment of Bonus Act. Now the first one is applicability of Act. Computation of available surpluses and component of bonus, which was discussed in the section 2 clause 21. Now disqualification and deduction of bonus, as I mentioned earlier, that is in section 9 deals with disqualification of bonus, and section 8 that is eligibility for bonus, that is our presentation topic, and section 10 deals with payment of minimum bonus and a time limit for payment of bonus, that is section 19, and section 15 deals with set off and set on. Establishment includes department, undertaking and branches, etc. Separate establishment, which was mentioned in section 3, and section 4 deals with computation of gross profit, and section 12 that is eligible employees drawing wages up to 3,500 per month or less. For calculation purposes, rupees 2,500 per month maximum will be taken even if the employee is drawing up to 3,500 per month. Now maintenance of registrar and record, which was been mentioned in section 2 clause 4. Now let's move on to section 10, that is the payment of minimum bonus. Subject to other provision of the Act, every employee shall be bound to pay to every employee in respect of the accounting year commencing on any day in the year 1979 and in respect of every subsequent accounting year a minimum bonus which shall be 8.33% of the salary or wage earned by the employee during the accounting year or 100 rupees, whichever is higher, whether or not the employee has not allocable surplus in the accounting year, provided that where an employee has not been completed 15 years of age at the beginning of the accounting year, the provision of this act shall have been effect in relation to such employee as if the words 100 rupees and the word 60 rupees were substituted. Now section 11, that is payment of maximum bonus. Where in respect to any accounting year referred in section 2, the allocable surplus exceed the amount of minimum bonus payable to the employees under that section, the employer shall, in lieu of such minimum bonus, be bound to pay to every employee in respect of that accounting year bonus, which shall be an amount in proportion to the salary or wages earned by the employee during the accounting year, subject to maximum of 20% of such salary or wages. Now clause 2 deals in computation the allocable surplus under this section. The amount set on or the amount set off under the provision of section 15 shall be taken into account in accordance with the provision of that section. Now let me conclude that a bonus is a reward that is paid to the employee for the good work towards the organization. The basic objective to give bonus is to share the profit earned by the organization among the employees and staff members. In India, there is a principal law relating to the procedure for payment of bonus to the employees, and that principle is named as the Payment of Bonus Act 1965. The Payment of Bonus Act applies to every factory and establishment employing not less than 20% and on any day during the accounting year. The establishment covered under the Act shall continue to pay bonus even if the number of employees fall below 20 subsequently. Now, the amendment of 2015, that is Payment of Bonus Act, the eligibility, which means that the persons who are eligible, that is every employee not drawing salary or wages beyond rupees 10,000. This is this is the 2015 amendment. Okay, so every employee not drawing salary or wages beyond rupees 10,000 per month who has worked for not less than 30 days in an accounting year shall be eligible for minimum bonus of 8.33 of the salary or wages even if the loss in the establishment, whereas the maximum of 20% of employee salary or wages is payable as bonus in the accounting year. However, the case of employees whose salary or wages ranges between 3,500 to rupees 10,000 per month for the purpose of payment of bonus, the salary or wages would be deemed to be rupees 3,500. There are provisions and benefit for newly formed establishment as well. As per these provision and benefit, the first 5 accounting year following the accounting year in which the employees sell goods or render services, the bonus is payable only in respect of the accounting year in which the profit are made, but the provision of set on and set off would not apply. Thank you, ma'am.